Very good pit stops as they come out. There's the race off of pit road. Kenseth gains 3 spots. Kyle Busch, you talked about that great pit stop they had a moment ago. Jimmie Johnson back 4 positions. And, of course, Kurt Busch losing a spot.
You see how critical it is. These pit stops are so competitive anymore on pit road. You just have to make that one adjustment like we saw the 48. He lost 4 spots.
Here's the debris coming off the 70 car. Now, the Johnny Sauter car, there it comes sailing out of the back of the 70. Another piece coming off the front. And that, of course, put out the caution here for the 5th time. Back with more after these messages and a word from our ABC stations.
Behind the passing combination of Eli Manning to Plexico Burress, the Giants have won back-to-back games. Big sack combo of O.C. Jr. and Michael Strahan. Visit the Falcons at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN's Monday Night Football.
Thanks, Mike. What a combination. Eli to Plexico Burress. 7 of the 9 touchdown passes Eli Manning has thrown this year have gone to Plexico Burress, and now tied with for the NFL League with Randy Moss. 7 receptions for a touchdown playing the Falcons. Mike, Jaws, and Tony will be there on Monday night for Monday Night Football. Getting set for the restart here at Lowe's Motor Speedway after pit stops for the entire field. Caution number 5 came out for debris off the 70 car. Johnny Sauter, if you just joined our coverage. Pace truck pulls away. Matt Kenseth in the 17 car will lead him down to the restart. It is Kenseth, Kyle Busch, Kurt Busch, and Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the big Budweiser Chevy sitting back in 4th spot. Kenseth pulling by about 3 car lengths down from Kyle Busch. Kurt Busch, the older brother, right behind Kyle. Then behind him, Earnhardt Jr.
Well, I was just waiting for the 8 car to catch a 24, and they had a much better pit stop. Beat him out of the pit, so the payback's going to have to come later right now because he just had a better pit crew that time.
Rusty, the 8 car now on the bottom of the racetrack instead of going way up high where he was earlier.
Well, right now he's got some pretty good grip in the tires, and it's not much longer before he gets back to the top. But right now, a couple laps on the bottom, a couple at the top. But take a look at the 2 brothers, Kyle Busch and Kurt Busch, bumper to bumper. Both cars running good tonight.
Kurt saying, I love you, brother, but see you.
I remember one time in the All-Star race, they didn't love each other too much.
Yeah, this was a matter of brotherly shove. These 2 in the All-Star race. Watch the contact between the 5 and the 2.
Man, you talk about aggressive move right there. You'd have thought that maybe Kurt could have cleared him, but his brother just barely got him in the left rear quarter panel. So why are they driving so hard here? It was no points. It was all for money. No patience in this race, but they need to have patience here tonight.
Neither one of them were very happy after that. It took them a while to get that one worked out inside the family, much less outside. The 8 and 48 here, Earnhardt Jr. trying to hold off the challenge of the 48 of Jimmie Johnson. And the 07 of Clint Boyer making a move back here as well.
Clint Boyer's doing exactly what he needs to do, Jerry. He's just hanging in there. He's running fast lap speeds. Got the car competitive. He's working on it every single pit stop, staying up with the track.
Didn't take Junior long to get back up to his top groove here. He ran just a few laps on the bottom, but he's moved up top now. And you can see his 48. Man, that thing works so good on the bottom.
Yeah, how good is that 48 car? And Jimmie Johnson just turns it down across the racetrack. Looks like he was going to make the move with ease, but then Earnhardt Jr. stayed in that high groove and now pulls back away.
You know, when I drove the cars, the last time I drove here at Charlotte, Jerry, I always loved the bottom of the track. Never could feel comfortable like Junior's feeling on the top side. You know, it's that's kind of no man's land up there. If you get too close and you slip, you're going to hit that wall. I never could get comfortable with that part.
38 car had a near miss a moment ago. David Gilliland, that's the Robert Yates owned car. It just nearly spun out. We saw a bit of a puff of smoke out of the back of the car. Here's what happened to 38 a moment ago. Way up behind Bobby Labonte.
And man, that was a good job holding on to that car. He almost got Bobby Labonte in the left rear quarter panel, checked up and held on.
Watch this move by Tony Stewart to avoid this. Oh, baby.
Holder, good job. 31 inside. Fender in there.
Good job by Gilliland.
Allen,
And Doc, this car has been having a terrific run all race long, and it's very timely for this race team. Robert Yates Racing has been one of NASCAR's legendary teams for years, but they've fallen on some hard times where performance is concerned this year. And Robert is giving up the team to his son Doug at season's end and retiring. Well, they don't have a sponsor for next year. Even though Gilliland is under contract, they don't have any backing for this race team. These final races of this season are their audition to try and get backing for next season for Doug Yates to take this two-car operation and continue his father's legacy. Until that, Bobble, they've been in the top 10 almost the entire race.
Great point, Alan. Doug Yates certainly has a big job ahead of him. A lot of question marks yet with regard to what's going to happen in 2008 with soon-to-be just Doug Yates Racing.
Dodged a major bullet there when that car got sideways. It didn't hit the wall, so they've got time to get going back here. Still running the top 20. He'll be fine.
One guy we haven't seen much of tonight is Carl Edwards. It looks like he's got a pretty good car, too, now. He's starting to get this thing tuned up, and it's coming around. And he looks like he's just loving the bottom of the track now. A little bit different than everybody else.
It is a little different. He's running right on that white line. Here we go with the 8 car way up top. Clint Boyer now on the bottom.
You know, I've said this about this 8 car a couple times, that he loves the top of the racetrack, and there's no room up there, and you'd think he's going to hit that wall every now and then. But boy, that's I don't like having no room for an error.
Rusty, from a driver's standpoint, is it more physically challenging to run that groove that Earnhardt Jr. is trying to hang on to up there?
Well, Jerry, absolutely. You're mentally focused so much going every single time you get in the corner. Okay, get it in there. Keep it off the wall a little bit, but keep it high. It's a lot of thinking going on these kids doing right now, and this is a tough groove to run.
Dave Burns?
He is inches away from that wall. I listened to you guys talk earlier about how he's sort of like the old man when he got angry there. Well, something else he did this weekend that was a lot like the way his father used to run. Rusty, you ran all the minutes of practice. His dad would sometimes quit early when his car was real good, but Junior has not been like that. And crew chief Tony Gibson told me that yesterday he quit both practices early. On the second practice, he said, I don't know what more we can do to this car. It's pretty good. So quitting early, another Earnhardt trait he might be picking up.
That's the reason I felt like Dale Earnhardt Jr. was going to be the man to beat tonight, because he did quit early, and that's always a sign of having a good race car.
Look who's coming here. Earnhardt Jr. glances in the mirror, sees a 24 car closing in on him.
I'd tell Jeff Gordon, be careful what you wish for here. You want to catch this car and pass him, but man, you better be careful.
Yeah, he may want to get down on that yellow line. Just forget that white line. Get all the way down to where the grass is. Here, speaking of going down on the white line, here's the 48 of Jimmy Johnson trying to make the pass for second spot.
And Kurt Busch, he just bolted that number 2 Miller Lite car to the top of the wall, and he's been staying there every single lap. That's a corner that he just feels comfortable with, staying on the top. And we're going to watch Jimmy Johnson now. I bet he tries a little lower, tries the middle, tries the bottom. Jimmy's been all over this racetrack. He's got probably the best handling car out here.
I bet you're going to be able to drive a Mack truck between that 24 and 8 when he passes him. He's not going to get too close. The one thing you're seeing right here, though, is these guys that run the bottom are really good on these short runs right after they go back green on these good tires. But as they run about 30, 40 laps, like we heard Junior say a while ago, that top groove starts coming in and these guys start coming back.
24 now right on the rear deck of the 8 car. Does the 8 go high? The 24 go low? Yes.
Yeah, I kind of predicted you see a lot of room between these two guys.
I got to believe the 8's going to want to stay in front of the 24 for a while. Yeah, he just drives it off the corner.
He's not going to make it easy on Gordon. He's not going to go down there and run that groove again, though. He's not going to pull down that bottom groove like he did before.
Well, the only thing that's going to keep these two away from each other is if Jeff Gordon got on the radio and said, tell him I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I apologize. And he probably did that.
Would that make any difference to you if a guy hit you, got you sideways, and then apologized?
Nah, I'd probably say, yeah, right.
Yeah, I got to believe Jeff Gordon is the kind of guy that would do that, though. Yeah, you'd beg for forgiveness later. Whoa, trouble, the 7 car. Robbie Gordon has had contact with the wall.
All right, straight, right there, straight.
Parts and pieces coming off of his Ford as it spins around and gets both sides. And that will bring out caution for the 6th time today here on lap 136.
And this is something this team of Robbie Gordon does need to happen. He's really hoping he can keep this car in the top 35 in the points. He's pretty good right now, but if he keeps making mistakes like this car could get out of the top 35 in the point standings, and that could mean trouble.
Remember, the top 35, you're guaranteed to start the first 5 events of 2008, which includes the 50th running of the Daytona 500. Here's what happened to Robbie Gordon.
At turn 4, got another car. Just like you predicted, Rusty. This one treacherous corner.
Well, Andy, I'm not going to take the credit for that one because they've crashed so many times off of turn 4. I think everybody in the grandstands knows what's going to happen there now, so we're all ready and watching that corner.
Talking about how Calamity Corner has been such a challenge here for Busch and Cup. You see there turn 4, 12 cautions, the last 3 Charlotte races, 63 laps in just the turn 4 area and the transition to the front straightaway. Look at all the scrapes on the wall there. Humpy's going to have to repaint that and put the numbers and letters back on the wall. He might have had to repaint it from last night.
Well, these fans of these grandstands love this action. Whether it's passing or crashing, it's what they're here for to watch.
That's why they jam in here. They love this racetrack, and it's always a great show here for the NASCAR Nextel Cup Stars. Pit stops. Repairs on the 7 car. Alan?
Kurt Busch is into the first stall on pit road. Going to be a 2-tire stop because only 15 green flag laps of racing. Let's see how other teams react to that. Jamie?
And Jimmy Johnson, very technical on his diagnosis of the car. He said it's very forgiving. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment, a wedge adjustment, and take right sides only. Let's go to Dave Burns.
5-car talking to as well. Time the gas if you're going to do that, and go.
And Andy, the thing I'm seeing right now, a lot of these 2-tire changes, and as these guys are pulling out, guys are still coming in and almost crashing.
How about Boyer up 4 spots? There's Burton up 7 positions. Jeff Burton getting up in the fray here from that poor qualifying effort. He can be a factor like he was last night from the last to the first. You're watching ESPN on ABC.
Hi, everyone. I'm Matt Weiner here in New York, here to keep you up to date throughout the evening. Time for this Sports Center Minute powered by Vizio. Let's begin with college football. Number 1 LSU has already lost a bombshell on Bluegrass, where Kentucky came from 13 down to tie up LSU and beat the Tigers in triple overtime. Their first win over number 1 team since '64. Meanwhile, in LA, Mark Sanchez helped USC to a win at his first college start. His first career touchdown pass to Fred Davis put the Trojans up for good against Arizona. And on ESPN, Auburn leads Arkansas at the half 3-0. On ESPN2, Colorado and Kansas State just about to kick off. Guys?
Thank you very much. A season of upsets in college football. We've had some upsets here in NASCAR as well. And how about a number 1 getting knocked off by a Cinderella team, Kentucky, coming from 13 behind. Under caution here, lap 136, the 7 car. Robbie Gordon having contact with the wall. Leaders have been on and off of pit road, are lining up and getting set for the restart.
Here in the 25 car, he's got to go to the back of the pack for a violation in the pits. It's a big loss for that team, but he can make it back to the front. So the through got over the wall a little too early, and NASCAR don't like that.
7 of the top 8 are in the chase, led by Clint Boyer, who took fuel only in the 07 car. He will lead him down to the restart. Sailing by Biffle in the 16 and the 9 of Casey Kane. High side to 31 of Burton. Last night's winner, he's in 5th spot. Looking back at the 8 car in 6th position, Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah, you got to hand it to the 31 car, Jeff Burton. He has had a good handle on car now. Been in the hunt. He probably learned a lot in last night's Busch Series race. Lap times are good, and he's staying in front of the junior right now.
We told you there was the contact between the 24 and the 8 earlier. Let's listen into some of the radio communication. Here's the 24 car of Jeff Gordon.
Get me ahead of that 8. Man, I do not want to have to race him tonight. Hey, there's a car behind me.
You got to love it. And Jeff Gordon says, get me in front of that guy. Well, who's going to drive the car to do that? He's got to do that himself. It's just probably want some help from the spotter.
Up front at the 2 car. For more information on radio communications, log on to ESPN.com. Search word communications. You got to love those radio communications. Now, you lived it for many, many years, Rusty, when you get in the car.
Well, when you're in the seat, you're a little frustrated. You got to tell somebody and ask for some help. And it's usually your crew chief or your spotter you're referring to.
Tony Stewart, there's Tony riding along with him. He moves in and tries to take the spot away from the 24 car. That's 8th position.
It's like Jeff Gordon thought about making it 3 wide, now does make it 3 wide.
They go by either side, the 45 of Kyle Petty. Kyle, by the way, a former winner here at Lowe's Motor Speedway.
Yeah, Kyle was a meat and a sandwich on that one right there. He had to get out of there quick because these guys they mean business. It's 20 and 24. They're trying to get some ground made up.